guys, it's Manager Kylie, and in today's video, I'm going to share with you how often you should practice outside of your team's practices. So when you're really looking to improve in a sport, a big way to do that is through practicing. And you do have your team practices. So if you're in high school, that could be up to 5 days a week, or in youth sports, you do have 2 to 3 times a week practices, but those are limited to what you are able to do, as that amount of time is usually focused on team drills and everything that involves getting your team ready for their games. So it's important that you put in some work outside of those team practices to better your skills and improve your game. But if you guys are interested in more sports administration, coaching tips, and drills that you can use with your team, definitely hit the subscribe button, turn the bell so you get notified every time I upload, as I post a new video every single Wednesday at 2 p.m. Eastern time. So there's a few things you need to understand before you figure out how much you need to be practicing out of your team practice. The first thing is, where are you in the season of the sport? Have you been playing the sport for a long time? Have you not? Are you in your off season? Are you in your regular season? Where are you, and how long have you been playing the sport? If you've been playing the sport for a long time, you're already going to have some base fundamental skills that somebody that's brand new to the sport may have. So you might need to practice less on certain skills and practice more on other skills. If you're in your regular season, you're also going to want to do more fundamental work, where if you're in your off season, you're going to want to do some more high intensity work, as you're not getting the same cardio reps that you're getting while you are at practice. You also want to figure out, what are your goals? Are your goals to go into the college level? Are your goals just to play varsity in high school? Are your goals to make your top travel team? Everybody has different goals, and through these different goals, you might have a different level of practice that you need to put in. If you're trying to play D1 sports in college, you are going to have to put in a lot more time than if you're just trying to make your 8th grade travel team. It's just how much effort you're going to need and how much skill you're going to need to gain by the time you want to make that team. It's also important not to overdo something. You want to switch off which skill you're working on each day, and not constantly only be shooting for basketball or only shooting a hockey shot. You want to change what you're doing every day, and even in that practice time, switch it up what you're doing, because overworking something can cause injury to the different muscles you're using. As you're building up these muscles and learning new skills, your muscles are working hard, and you don't want to overdo them, as this could cause injury. So you want to make sure you're aware of what you're doing and that you're not overworking yourself, but you're still working yourself hard enough to improve. It can take thousands of reps to fix a bad habit, so it's very important that you're constantly working outside of practice. If you want to use softball, for example, if you want to fix your hitting swing, you're only going to get 20 to 30 swings at most at a practice with your team, so it's very important that you do those swings outside of your team practice, swinging that bat, hitting the ball, working on your new form and fixing that bad habit. That's very important. That's why you have to practice outside of your regular team practice. You will see the players that practice outside of practice do improve. They'll improve practice to practice. You'll see them later in the gym. They'll stay after practice and shoot like free throws, or they'll stay on the field after working on their footwork, everything like that. So it's very important to work hard and also make sure that you're focusing on what you're doing. Also, and how often you're doing this, it's not always about the time. Sometimes it's about the reps. If you're trying to fix a certain skill, it might be more about how many reps you do and how many correct reps you do. Just doing a rep doesn't really help you if it's not in the correct form. You want to make sure you're doing correct reps of something, and that will help you. You could be doing this for 30 minutes or 60 minutes and still get the same amount of reps in, depending on how much you're focusing on your correct form and making sure that everything's right. So it's not always about the amount of time. It sometimes is about how many reps you do. So overall, how much time do I think you need to put in outside of your team's practice? If your team's practicing for, say, an hour and a half, 2 to 3 times a week, you're going to want to put in at least a half an hour to an hour other days of the week that you don't have your team practice. This is during the regular season. And then in the off season, you want to put in about an hour to an hour and a half each day on working on whatever skill you're trying to work on. It's very important to make good solid practice plans and figure out what you need to improve. Each person's going to need to improve on something different, so you want to make sure you have a solid practice plan in place and make sure you know what you need to be working on. It is important to just constantly be active. Even some sort of activity will help you better with your cardiovascular and everything that you need to just stay fit and have strong endurance when you get into the season. You don't want to practice, especially in high school, 5 days a week with a game another day, so you're practicing 6, even sometimes you have stuff 7 days a week, and then get into the off season and have nothing. You want to make sure that you're balancing and still practicing and working on your endurance and everything in the off season. Even if you're not focusing on specific skills, you want to be constantly active in your off seasons. And it is also important to work on those skills so that you're constantly building the skills and working to grow them as you are in the off season and not just in your season when you're focused on that sport. So I hope you guys found this video helpful. If you have any other tips about practicing out of your team's practice, leave them in the comments down below. I hope you guys enjoyed. Don't forget to like if you did. Subscribe to this channel to see more sports administration content, and I'll see you guys next Wednesday.